Hey guys, welcome to Troy Time. Hey, as you guys check out some footage of things we've grown in the past in our indoor hydroponic tower, I'm going to tell you about today's video. If you've been following along with our site, you know that we've restarted this rack from scratch. I'm documenting everything so that everyone can follow along and do this. It's so simple, it's been working great. Currently we're on day 4 and that's super exciting because now we've got all our seeds planted and now it's time to take them out of the blackout period and get them into the light. So let's check out what that looks like coming up next. Follow along guys, this is good. Okay, guys, we are in day 4, and day 4 is magical because we take everything out of the blackout period, we remove the weight, and we start bottom watering. So let's take a look at that now. Okay, guys, for starters, let's look at our radishes, okay? Radishes are actually in day 5. As you remember, I soaked them at the beginning with everything else, but these came out of the soak much quicker, so I started them a day ahead of what I might normally do. But these things look awesome. They're almost ready to harvest. It's day 5 for these guys. They got 1 or 2 days left, but they are beautiful. Look how nice. Look how flavorful. I can't wait. The humidity dome is off, and all we're going to do is start bottom watering these now. This works out perfect. These will be ready in just a couple days. Okay, guys, so here's our mung beans, and they look great, right? These are almost ready to harvest, okay? I want their little cotyledon leaves to be a little bit longer. I want the little stems to come up just a little bit more. But this will probably be the last time we water them, and we can harvest these tomorrow, either in the morning or tomorrow evening. But yeah, these look great. They're coming along perfect. I can't wait, guys. So quick, and we're almost ready for our first harvest. All right, guys, here's our mung beans, and they're looking great. Okay, it's time to start bottom watering these, and we're going to just let them bottom water them. All these, both the mung beans and the lentils, we have to keep in the dark. Here's a look at the mung beans and their roots. So they are totally ready for bottom watering. So just a little water there in the bottom, just enough to keep the roots wet. Okay, so it's important that both the mung beans and the lentils stay in the dark, okay? So we've got them up here on the top of our shelf. There's lots of options that you could do. If you want to leave them up here on the top of the shelf, you could cover them with a towel. That would be one option that's perfectly acceptable. You could stick them somewhere else in a cabinet or something like that. You could cover them with a box or something like that. But what I'm preferring to do right now is to use a tub, and a particular tub. The 7-gallon HDX tote from Home Depot matches the rack nicely. It's not expensive. I think it's like $8. And it's going to match some of the other totes that we use. And it's just really, really convenient. Take a look at this. Okay guys, this tub looks like it was made for this rack, okay? It fits on there perfectly. If you look underneath, there's lots of room all around it. That'll help give us lots of airflow right around those sprouts, okay? We've got our mung beans on the bottom, and we've got our lentils stacked right on top. So they're gonna be in the dark, covered by this little top hat of this tote. This works perfect, guys. If you didn't want to do that, you could lay a towel on top. You could put tin foil on top. You could stick them in a cabinet or elsewhere, something like that. But I am loving this tote. It just looks awesome as like a headstone on this rack, and I think it's perfect. That's the 7-gallon tote, HDX style, from Home Depot. Also of note is that we have removed the water bottles from the top weight. So it's just the lentils that are open in the air up top, and then they are weighting down still the mung beans down below them. Okay guys, now the peas are special, okay? The one thing about the peas is this. We're about 4 days in now, and now we've got to keep those peas dry, okay? We do not want to continue to water up top. We need to bottom water, and we need to bottom water in a way where the water won't touch the peas. If the water touches the peas that are sitting there, they will get mushy and nasty and sour and stink, and we don't want that, okay? So we need separation. Okay, so in this little tray, you can use these little trays, but man, you got to pay particular attention so that you don't get the bottom of the pea seeds wet. Okay, and that's tough to do, especially in the little trays. It's a little easier to do on the larger green and white trays because there's a bigger gap. So you can do it, but I usually don't, just because it's easy to overfill them, and you're easy. As soon as you get one pea that's soggy, it's going to get nasty. Okay, so what I prefer to do is use a larger reservoir. It's just a plain old Tupperware from Walmart, okay? You can get a 10-pack of these for like $8 or whatever it is, I don't know. But I don't have the exact dimensions. I can get them. Leave a comment if you want the exact dimensions, and I'll leave a comment if you want the exact dimensions, and I'll get them off the wrapper and give them to you. But look at this. So now I can either use a homemade DIY on the lid of the Tupperware, and I can make that mesh. Or look, our mesh fits perfectly on top of this thing. I mean, perfect, okay? It is one solid fit. Look at that. And that's going to give us a nice separation so that we can actually keep the water from touching the bottom of those seeds. So especially on the little trays, if I'm doing these half-size trays, I like to use the Tupperware bottom rather than the green tray. That little narrow green tray just doesn't have enough gap to really be able to monitor that water closely. Another benefit that you're going to find if you do decide to use the Tupperware is that because they're different heights, you can sort of interlace them. We'll be able to go 3 plates across eventually in this rack because they won't be ramming right into each other at their rims. There's some overlap there which will allow just a little bit more extra space on the rack so you can fit things in a nicer manner. So I really like using these little black Tupperwares, and I really prefer using just the white lid that comes with the green and white tray and putting it right on there. But if you didn't want to get the small green and white trays, you could just DIY poke a bunch of holes. You could just DIY poke a bunch of holes in the lid of the Tupperware and invert it, and you'll have the same thing. Okay, guys. Now, when it comes to the larger trays with the peas, it is a little easier to maintain the correct level of water because those trays are just slightly deeper than the small trays. But if you still wanted a great solution so that you could have a much larger reservoir and not have to worry about watering them the whole rest of their time, then I'll show you this. This little 8-quart dish tub that you can get from Walmart, I believe it's like $2. It's got a little lip. So if you see that lip right down from the edge, it goes all the way around. And if we take out, just lift the whole tray, there's our roots, and we can pop that tray right in, and it will sit right on that lip. Perfect. So just water it up to where the roots are, and you'll be good to go. If the roots aren't quite long enough yet, then just leave them in the green tray another day or two, and then you can move them then. Works out perfect. Here's what that looks like on the rack, and it gives just the perfect amount of room for those pea shoots just to grow right up. Perfect. So, with the peas, you can either leave them in the green and white trays, especially if they're the big ones, or you can put them in these dish tubs when it's time to bottom water them. Either one works fine. Okay, don't get caught up on the appearance of these as far as the tin foil and the plastic bottle. This is a prototype, okay? There's plenty of ways to make this totally awesome looking, even to add some of your own artwork flair to it, right? So we're going to get a shorter bottle. It's going to be no label on it, and there's lots of things that you can use to cover it. You could use a simple towel, but if you wanted a little bit more decorative, you could use a placard like a poster board from like Walmart or Dollar Tree. You could label it, you could label 1 peas, you could label 1 greens, you could label 1 seed, something like that. You could put decorative pea drawings on the labels. You could go all out. You can make it pretty, right? So don't worry if it's not pretty just yet. Get the functionality, learn what I'm trying to teach you here so that you can actually do it. And then we'll go back and make it pretty as we optimize things, right? So don't worry if it looks a little crazy with the tin foil. We're going to have a lot of different creative ways that you can actually cover it and make it look really nice. For now, just form and function. We're just using this as what we do. You could actually get a poster board that's like green to fit them to match the trays, or black to match the rack, or all sorts of decorative things that we can do. So don't worry about the appearance at this point in time. Just worry about the functionality. We'll get to the appearance. That'll be one of the videos down the road. You could put all kinds of different little decorative tops on these that look really nice. They could say, live, laugh, love, or home sweet home, or grow, garden, grow, just all kinds of stuff. So there's lots of room to make these look really nice, guys. Something like this here. This is $1.25 from the Dollar Tree. And that could replace that tinfoil easy, cut it to scale. We'll do a video of that coming up soon and show you that. Oh, by the way, look, it's Finn and Pepper. Awesome. I love those puppies. Okay, so the first thing we started was our seeds. So these are our tomatoes, our peas, our cucumbers, and our peppers. All right, let's see how they're doing. We are doing good, guys. So the peppers and the tomatoes usually take a little bit of time, but those peas are booming. We'll probably have to take them off of this plate here pretty soon. And we're even getting some really good sprouting from our cucumbers. So great news. Those are looking great. Here we've got our pak choi on the shelf that's right above them, right? Let's see how they're doing. That automatic watering has worked great. I don't know if you can tell, but they are definitely germinating, right? All of them. And the yellow tails are popping out, and it's working perfect. That automatic watering is awesome. I haven't had to touch them since we planted them. And lastly, let's look at our romaine, right? We're going to be growing a lot of this. Let's take a peek. Oh, that is looking awesome, guys. They're rising right up off of that little tray, right? Working perfect. Again, we haven't touched these. This is day 4. We haven't touched them once. That's what I love about this automatic watering bottle. It's convenient, yes, but the accuracy of it's not just about the convenience. It's about the accuracy so that you're not overwatering or spraying them too hard. It prevents a lot of problems, right? And those sprouts are doing awesome. So yeah, it's day 4. Everything's kicking some butt, guys. So real soon this rack's going to be shaping up and looking good, right? The plants are going to be in bloom and everything's going to be looking sharp. So we'll make that happen soon. Check back soon. It's almost harvest time for these sprouts already. Okay, at the end of day 4, we have our seeds on the bottom. We have our pak choi there. We've already saw both of those are sprouting awesome. We've got our 2 larger trays of peas right there, covered with a little bit of darkness yet, so that they help kind of stretch and grow a little bit taller, but they're not weighted anymore. We've got our radishes out in the open getting light, and those are our lettuce seeds right there. Those are picking up and just growing straight off the rack. That's awesome, straight off the tray. We've got our smaller peas, and we've got a little darkness on those yet, hoping that they reach and grow up a little taller. And then up top, we've got our little headstone cap, right? And that inside of there are our mung beans and our lentils. So everything's shaping up. It's going to get really awesome looking soon. Check back soon, and you can check it out. Okay, guys, so that's going to do it for day 4. I want to leave you with this awesome picture. This is the salad I'm eating tonight. These microgreens are so good, and the greens, they're so good. These microgreens you harvest weekly, there's enough for several salads weekly coming off this rack. Anywhere from 10 to 12 salads you're going to get from this rack, the way we're using it in these videos. 10 to 12 salads a week. Awesome salads, superfood salads. All those microgreens are so good. Look at this salad. I love these salads. Same thing with the ramen. Those are awesome too, right? But yeah, you're going to get that many servings of these microgreens coming off the rack. And you're seeing the first harvest is probably going to start tomorrow. So we're on day 5. You're getting your first harvest, and you'll be eating salads like this, ramens. You know, microgreens are awesome. The whole rack's awesome, guys. It's hard for me to express just how amazing this is. Until you do it, you just won't know. But I hope a lot of you are following along. I'm hoping it's like a year in the future and you all are bouncing back and you've already seen how awesome this rack is when it's in its full blooming glory. So yeah, so I just can't wait, and hope a lot of you are just excited as I am to follow along and do this. I love having this fresh food. It's so great. It's such a good thing to do. And I'm always happy to come downstairs and see that rack. And I get to plant and grow and just have an awesome time. And I'm happy I can share it with you guys. I hope you all like it. Like this video, please comment. Leave your comments down below. Let us know what you want to see us grow in the sidebars that we've done in the other videos. Our next round of planting is coming up soon, guys. So yeah, that's day 4. We'll talk to you again soon, guys. Check back. Try and check back every day. I'm making a lot of videos. We'll talk to you soon. This is Troy Time. Thanks for being here, as always. I'm out.